in the back. لو سمحتم عايزين يبقى فيه هدوء تام في القاعة. واسمحوا لي أن أقدم لكم الآن السيدة هناء قورة مدير عام ساقية عبد المنعم الصاوي.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السادة السفراء الكرام، السيدات والسادة الأفاضل، أشعر بسعادة كبيرة وأنا أرحب بكم في ساقية عبد المنعم الصاوي، وفي بداية هذا الحدث الفريد الذي يحمل عنوان الحد الفاصل بين حرية التعبير واحترام الآخرين. هذا الموضوع الدقيق جدا زادت حيويته وسخونته في الفترة الأخيرة لدرجة جعلت من الدعوة للحوار والتنوير ضرورة تفرض نفسها. وبوجود عدد من الضيوف الأجانب أستأذنكم في توجيه بعض الكلمات بالإنجليزية. Your Excellencies, Ambassadors and distinguished guests, dear SAIA friends and colleagues, it's my honor and privilege to stand in front of you welcoming such a gathering. We in SAIA Sawi have been trying since we opened 3 years ago to support the free thinking and open evaluation of rigid visions that existed in the past. This cultural attitude can only be changed by learning how to listen to others as a step towards respecting and understanding different opinions. The result will be very attractive. Others will listen to you and respect what you say. As in a word, a dialogue can be created on good basis. This dialogue can help to narrow the limits. This dialogue, excuse me, this dialogue can help to narrow the gaps in ideas, or at least create a peaceful and friendly environment. For this very important mission, we organized several seminars, plays, musical events, poetry, as well as visual art exhibitions. And the positive thing is that all these efforts were very much appreciated by our guests from different generations. Anyways, the floor is there for vertical and horizontal expansion, and it will act as a good preparation for this intercultural project coming soon, or exactly on the 7th of May, when the Center for Arab West Understanding will be launched by Dr. Van Acht, the former Dutch Prime Minister. Once again, I would like to express the deep thanks of Said Abd Menam Al-Sawi for accepting the invitation and being present here to give your personal support and your valuable experiences on the road to a better future. God bless you all. Now, it's my pleasure to hand the floor over to Dr. Hassan Wageih, the moderator of tonight's discussion. Thank you.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. We would like very much to welcome all of you, and I would like very much to ask the distinguished speakers, the ambassadors, to come to the podium here. We ask His Excellency, Mr. Ahmed Maher, to come. Ask His Excellency, the British Ambassador. Ask His Excellency, the Norwegian Ambassador. We ask His Excellency, the Danish Ambassador. The Dutch. Sorry for this cross-cut communication pitfall. His Excellency, the Ambassador of Bahrain. And Dr. Cordelius Holzman, the Director of the Arab West Report Center for Understanding. Okay. Sure. think we'll speak in English. And we have a translation.
Thank you, everyone.
ايه يا سعد سليم، انت متنازل عن الميكروفون من الاول؟ مين قال؟
Once again, we'll start this cross-cultural communication forum tonight, and we ask God it would be blessed, inshallah, by the presence of everyone here. I wrote a research paper for a discussion. It's about managing emotionally loaded crises in the context of an ongoing communication gap between the Arab Islamic world and the West. And I have raised several questions to be for the discussion of our distinguished speakers tonight. Actually, the idea of talking about freedom of expression and respect the other is one of the topics which has been under scrutiny and under a lot of cross-cultural communication discussion all over the globe. I have some questions because I don't know everyone has read the paper or not. I am sure that the audience have not read the paper, so the questions are good enough to frame the discussions. We have several questions to be addressed, and we ask our distinguished speakers to choose whatever and to opt for whatever dimension they may see fit. We have the question of what are the different dimensions of dealing with the notion of freedom of expression from a cross-cultural communication perspective. We are talking about the media role. What about the media role in the cross-cultural communication formation of images and for managing crises? Do they manage a crisis well? Are they trained enough? Do the world a good job or a bad one? The education frame. What about the educational frame when it comes to images cultivated in syllabi, in the curricula, whether in the Arab Islamic world or in the West? The cartoons crisis that erupted lately and was scrutinized raised so many other questions, like the issue of the hidden hand. Even the Danish delegate who came here raised these issues, not in the Arab world only. They said there is a hidden hand. What about this hidden hand? And from a cross-cultural communication, it would be an enlightening topic. The apology frame. What is an acceptable apology and what is not in cross-cultural communication settings? What about the role of governments in interfering, in dealing with crises in the Arab Islamic world and the West? Actually, the crisis of the Danish cartoon was managed mainly by some media people and some preachers. They were ahead of diplomats and the decision makers, and they were really managing the crisis for the early key stages, and I think that exacerbated the crisis. Also, we have a question about the outrage and angry. What about the provocability level? How people could, when they are getting angry, what are the cross-cultural communication settings that would enable us to deal with angry conditions in the best of manners and best of ways? These are, I think, some of people said that the bridges of communication and dialogue is no longer there, and some people insist the bridges are there and we should build these bridges. This is very controversial issues raised lately. Also the boycott frame. Also the legal frame when it comes to defamation, slander, and freedom of expression at large. These are the very most important questions raised by the cross-cultural communication settings all over the globe lately, and we are so happy to have the opinion of the diplomats and the experts regarding any of these questions. We start with His Excellency, Mr. Ahmed Maher, former Minister of Foreign Affairs in Egypt. We leave the floor. Each speaker will have from 7 to 10 minutes to reflect on the questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's always difficult to be the first to speak, but it also gives you an opportunity to say things that seem original, that seem new. I don't think I have come here to discuss the particular question of the cartoons, because I believe that the problem is bigger, larger, and this is only one manifestation of the problem. So I do not want to take one part of the problem and discuss it. I want to look at the title of our meeting today, because it needs perhaps some definitions. Freedom of expression, respect for the other, and I do not want to touch of the last thing, how to respond if one is offended, because of course our goal is not to offend anybody. A true respect for each other and a freedom of expression that knows its goal will prevent anybody being offended if we understand the rules of the game. And the rules of the game are, sometimes people believe that freedom of expression is a prerogative of the West, and respect for the other is something that the East demands. I believe that freedom of expression is a universal value that we all have to believe in and all have to respect. Because what is a human being if he is not free to express what he feels, what he likes, what he feels? In fact, this is why language was invented, for people to be able to express their feelings and their opinions and their ideas. And if they are not allowed to freely express their opinions and their ideas, then you have a world where people cannot communicate, where people cannot understand each other. The other is looked upon in some writings. I remember Jean-Paul Sartre, who believes that the other is hell. I don't think this is true. The other is somebody with whom I have to live and with whom I have to enjoy to live.